Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, Breaker of the Seven Seals. Just bringing our audience. This is the Black Alert segment of the Fire Zone. Welcome. Sisters and brothers, as I've been saying, do not allow them to keep deceiving you, whitewashing our 400 years experience here. They want to call it slavery. That was not slavery. That was the economic part of it. It was the Holocaust. Look up slavery, brothers and sisters. Does that include rape, murder, torture, castration, all the things they did that's unimaginable, not including slavery? See, that's just a lie. They've been telling us. See, it's a big lie. See, it's a big lie. See, it was a Holocaust. 400 years of horror. They're trying to downplay it like they're trying to downplay this so-called critical race theory. See, they add that theory on there. That means that's someone's opinion. It may have happened, may not have happened. They're writing books now saying that we came over here, we immigrated here, we came over here on a visa, we was invited here, and we be so criminal, so wicked that they had to put us in chains. They're writing books like that, and you got demons writing books like that. They don't want their children to know what they did, so they're whitewashing it. Oh, because everybody did slavery. Slavery all over the world. Yeah, slavery. Slavery's in the Quran. Slavery's in the Bible. Yeah, it is. Right? It's capitalist. Right? It means maximum profit, minimum overhead. That's what slavery is. You're working, people are not paying them. That doesn't include rape, murder, hanging, castration, and all the things they did. They whitewashing it. It's a theory. Yeah, everybody went through. Say, what y'all upset about, right? Okay, because we work without paying you. Okay, if that's all it was, just pay us and get over with. Pay us back pay, because that wasn't what it was. That's why you're being judged. And when you see the Abrahamic covenant, right? If slavery included oppression, affliction, then they would, in the covenant, that's your covenant, that's being now you're getting rewards starting 2020. It says we're being enslaved and afflicted. So affliction is part of slavery. They would not have to add that to it. We just said you're being slavery. So don't let them get away with it, brothers and sisters. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to downplay, oh man, yeah, we're slavery. And we went to war because of slavery. Yeah, the economic part of it. But you didn't go to war because of the horrific part of it. Because you still was terrorizing us and everything. Jim Crow, Ku Klux Klan, all this stuff. You're still terrorizing us. Still hanging us. Had hanging parties and stuff. So you didn't go to war because of that. And you didn't give anybody no 40 acres in the middle of nothing. So stop lying. So yeah, you might have went to war because of economics. Slavery, the economic part of it. But that wasn't even for our benefit anyway. Because the North didn't want to compete with slave labor. So don't get it twisted. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. This is the main topic here. Goddess power. Goddess power. Goddess power. Hold on, brothers and sisters, for a second here. Let me see. One second here. Okay. A little adjustment here. A little adjustment. New technology here I'm trying to get used to. Yeah, leave it like that. Uta goddess power. What is goddess power? Now, I've been saying that what power is. Power is the control of energy, to turn energy into power. I'm having a little sound issue here. Let's see. Whoa. Come on, bro. Let me see how I can handle this. Bear with me for a second, bro. Quite a problem there. And feedback. Okay, sound. Oh, that's not it yet. Okay, it sounds better. Okay. I'm talking about power and how you transform energy into power. Because all have the same amount of energy. That's a mathematical fact that you're going to come to understand after a while. We all have the same amount of energy. We receive energy on a 24-hour basis, right? Because our energy is renewed every 24 hours. The Earth generates energy every 24 hours and shared by all of us. So all of us have the same amount of energy every day. The reason why we sleep, because we're in a period of, we're coming out of energy deprivation, but we have enough energy to keep us going the whole 24 hours. So then the renewal. Like if you have a cell phone and it's charged for 24 hours and used, for normal usage, and you're going to start streaming and stuff, then, right? Okay, so now you used up all before the 24 hours, so now you got to charge it. Put on sleep, right? I hope you understand. I don't want to go into a lot of detail about that. But we renewed every 24 hours, energy allotment, and right now we don't have enough energy to go to 100 to complete a 24-hour cycle. So we have enough for approximately 16 hours. Therefore, we have to sleep for 8 hours until we get renewed again. Now, that process is going to end soon. But prior to 50,000 years ago, no one slept. It was like, that wasn't even an idea. Nobody even thought about it. But now, doing energy deprivation, we had to. So now we're coming out of it, and we return to that state again. When you think about what is that? Somebody see there must be sick or something. Anyway, so talk about power, how you convert energy to power. Now, while we was going to energy deprivation, we had no power because, you have internal energy, external energy. So put it like this. If you receive 24 units of energy every day, that's 1 energy per hour, right? 1 unit per hour. What you need, let's make it simpler. Okay, let's say you get 100,000 units per day, but you require 1,500. That means you're 500 short your energy deprivation. So that means all your energy is going to be internal because you don't have enough energy for your internal needs, right? So all the energy you get, you need it for your internal needs. So But if you are 500, and that's Yaku's creation, Europeans, right? They're in 500, is simpler structure, right? They're stripped down version of us. So they got, remember you get 1,000, so they got 500 external. And they can use that external to convert into power. But it's up to them, because you need this discipline is what turns energy into power. That's the discipline. Righteousness is the Bible word for discipline. A special kind of righteous discipline, albeit, but when they talk about righteousness, they talk about discipline, it's just the biblical word for discipline. So we didn't have any power because all the energy was not enough to have any external energy. But they did have power. So they was able to rule for 6,000 years until our returns. And the only way we return is that we start having there's enough energy. In other words, let's say we start getting 20 units of energy. Now we got 15 to cover internal needs, and we got 500, right, to hand for external needs. Now we have to take and convert that into power. It takes discipline. That's it. Righteousness, but we have different types of righteousness. It's a quality issue. Different forms of righteousness. And we're going to talk about that. Okay. So let's talk about the male and the female. Okay. Now I'm not going into a lot of detail, but once there were the gender wars. We had gender wars about 73 years ago, something like 66 trillion years ago, something like that. I guess that, right? Where it was, before that, we was one being, something that nowadays they loosely call a morphodite, right? It's self-reproducing is one being. And so we separated into two beings. And I'm going to the process and all that kind of stuff. I'm just giving you the idea. I want to get to the point. So we separated, right? At that point, we was ambidextrous because your brain is spatial and technical, right? You got technical side, you got analytical side, you got spatial side. And you can go and Google it, search it, everything I tell you, you can always check out. There's some details that you can't check out from them, right? And the problem is just to make you understand some examples, right? Make you understand the problem. Now, once you separate, because there's some proof that you separate, because men have breasts, they don't need them. That means there was one being at one time. So we separated. The men took the strength, and the women took the beauty. So the beauty was the main attribute of the females, and strength was the major attribute of the males. But we weren't 100% male. It was like 90% male and 10% female. So we communicated. I said, we have breasts, we don't need them. And then the female was like 90% female and 10% male. So we can communicate with each other. So we still had ambidextrous brain. But that wouldn't be an issue until 6,000 years ago. So you say ambidextrous means 50% spatial, 50% analytical. But not quite. See, I'm going a little more detail than I've done before. So I'm just giving you an example. This is not exact numbers. I'm just giving you so you understand how it works. So instead of being 50-50, the male was like 55% spatial and 45% technical. While the female was like 45% spatial and 55% analytical. Keep saying analytical. Spatial, analytical. Because she used more of her left side of the brain than the male does, right? Because that's the speech side. And she normally speaks more, talks more than we do, right? And she speaks better, right? Normally. There's a reason for that. But, hold on here, brothers and sisters. So I want to understand that. So virtually ambidextrous, right? But just loose, right? So the male is just a little more on the spatial, and the female is just a little more on the analytical. But basically ambidextrous. So that's the way we start out. So now that's the foundation. See, so we talk about the brain, right? That's hardware, software, right? That's hardware actually, ambidextrous, right? Spatial and analytical. That's the whole hardware, right? And then you got the physical side, right? Where you see the difference between the male and the female. So she has a little more inclination towards the heart zone than the male does. Both an inclination, she has a little more. Because that kicks into that maternal instinct side of her. She has to have the nurse and all that kind of stuff that we don't have the patience for. And she didn't have that, we wouldn't be around. So you don't be knocking that kind of stuff, right? Anyway. So I'm trying to put it in nowadays context. Well, first we're going to go through what happened 6,000 years ago. But at that point, there was separation between first we had a gender war. We had separation between genders, and then we had male and female. But then, 6,000 years ago, we had separation of the mind. So we had a people that was almost 100% spatial, and people almost 100% analytical. That's Europeans, they're very analytical. We're very spatial. Okay. So that means our females, right, are more spatial. They're 100%. In other words, when you get to that calculation, again, in general terms, right, we're 90% spatial and 10% analytical. Where they are like 85% spatial and 15% analytical. They're mostly spatial. But they still have an analytical side. They tend towards that a little more than we do. So understand that. So when I talk about the quality of power, that determines the quality of power. Quality. Because in mathematics, right, quality is determined by us. Like I said, the difference between $1 million shit farm and $1 million gold mine. The difference is quality. They both work the same amount, but it's your quality. It's just like 5 plus 3 is 8, 7 plus 1 is 8, 6 plus 2 is 8, 10 minus 2 is 8. It's still 8. 2 times 4 is 8. It's still 8. 1 times 8 is 8. It's still 8. It's just the quality is different. So the quality is determined, right, by us, and determined by your nature, and it's the quality of your power. Even if you have power, because discipline is what transforms energy into power. It's like if you got $1 million, another person got $1 million, and they take it, just throwing their money away and just buying stuff for everybody. Let's have drinks, let's get high, all that kind of stuff. Well, they have no power because they are fribbling away their energy and everything. But another person, they invest it. And so they turn their energy into power. That's the difference. So, now that we put the background there, we established the foundation between the male and the female, and we're not talking about the demons and stuff. We're just talking about, you can extrapolate from us to them. I'm not sure we're going to go into them here. I want to talk about God's power. Because no one's ever give you a rational explanation why you need to wear hajib. Why you cover yourself? Why you need to do that? How long have you been doing that? Did you do that before Prophet Muhammad? Did you do that with Abraham? I mean, according to the Bible, Adam and Eve was doing it. They was walking around naked, but according to the Bible, Jesus telling everybody the women should be covered. The Bible tells you, right? But no explanation of why. Just do it. And it wouldn't be until Suleiman came and broke the seal so he could explain all these things. So the men has the strength and the women have the beauty. So put in those terms, but that would mean that the man has like 90% strength and 10% beauty. The woman has like 90% beauty and 10% strength. So we laid out the foundation, right, that the power is going to be generated by, because of determine quality. So since there's equality between us, there's equality between us, that it should be, it will be again, right? But there's a difference in quality between us. You see? Difference in quality. Okay. So, we're going to talk about the female here, female goddess. Now that the black original woman is coming into her potential power, because now she has so-called, what they call it when you have money beyond your bills and stuff, disposable income. You can do whatever you want to do with it. So now she has disposable energy, because now got enough energy to maintain herself. Now she got extra energy, external energy. So what does she do with it? What does she do with it? Because Master is telling us, just blow it off. Like the guy, hey man, just a party, man. Live it up. Go and have drinks. Get high. See? So he has no power. He has energy, but no power. Another person get advice. Hey man, no, invest your money. Do this, do that, so forth. So he's generating power because he's using discipline to turn his energy into power. The other person, no discipline, they have no power. They have energy, but no power. So we're in this point of self-imposed energy deprivation where we're being deceived. They say, hey man, it's America, man, do your own thing, just party, have a good time, live it up. That's bad, extremely bad advice, because used to destroy us, because we destroyed Balaam and Balak, and it talks about it in Angel also. The whole thing they was trying to get Balaam to do, who came to bless us, that's talking about Master Muhammad, to curse us, to tell us do just that bad party, have a good time. Because we'd be cursed, because actually we're cursing ourselves. There's no mystery God cursing you. You curse yourself, because the mystery God, there's only one true God, and that's mathematics. And we all are controlled. We're all mathematics, put it that way. We're not controlling mathematics. Right? Yeah. We are mathematics. And there's no error in mathematics, period. See? So if you generate bad, if you generate negative, then you have to have a positive, right, to balance. So you generate positive. In other words, every action has the opposite equal reaction. This sets as a consequence. So if you do wicked things, evil things, you're going to get a consequence to correct it. Correct it for. That's a differential in pressure creates a wave, and that's a correction force to balance things out again. That's what consequence is. So if you go out there hurting people, then there's going to be a consequence, right, to justify that. That's what justice is. That's a current to justify, right, injustice or imbalance or pressure differential. Understanding that. Okay. So now we're in a state, because after 1948, right, we came out of 50,000 years in jeopardy, energy deprivation. So it was at zero. It wasn't some energy deprivation. We had no power either. It was at zero. Just enough energy to maintain ourselves. No external energy, just internal energy, but enough to balance ourselves. So that zero. And that's where the Antichrist comes in, because when you're at zero, if you produce a 5, you're going to produce a negative 5 to balance it out. That's a Suleiman would be called the Christ, and the Antichrist would come and exist at the same time they did, because they had zero. And that was 1948. The Antichrist is false Israel. They came to this in 1948, and Suleiman will be conceived in 1948, just like it says. I'm going to talk about those signs in another presentation. So from 1948 on, we start gaining energy, external energy. And so the deception comes on, say, oh no, party, have a good time, do your thing, because they're attempting to take and keep you from gaining power. Because they know once you start gaining power, you overpower them, because they have less ability to maintain power, because they're weaker version. That's where weak comes from, to maintain discipline to keep their power. That's why they're losing power now, because they have energy, but they don't have the discipline. Because right now they're departing from their discipline. They was given a sealed Bible, and they was put under the law and said, if you obey this, you will maintain power. Because you obey these laws, and these laws will be disciplined, then you maintain power. But if you don't, you're going to be going to captivity, you're going to be destroyed and everything else, because you're going to lose all your power. And now that's exactly what they're doing. They're losing their power. They're in free fall. Because they're obeying, they abandon the law, they think they got all this power and everything. No, it's free fall. They can't say, well, woman is woman, or it's homosexuality, all this stuff that's going on. Right? They decline it rapidly. Because it's not God doing it to them. They're doing it themselves. Because they're creating the God that's doing it to them. So really, they're the ones that's causing their own hell. That's another story altogether. I put a whole presentation about that, right? We personify everything. So the God and the Christ was generated, it is their personification of the consequence of everything they've been doing for the last 500 years. They actually created them in a sense. Well, in a sense, they actually created them. That's no story together, brothers and sisters. Anyway, that's what Elijah's job was supposed to do, to teach you how to gain power. The discipline you need to gain power. And that's what Suleiman will continue the process. Aaron will come in and try to deceive you, because he's a demon. His father's the devil. Just Google it. Do his bio. His father's the devil. Percival Clark. That's his father's name. There's a picture of him. And his job is to keep you from gaining power. But then he's doing what Elijah Muhammad said when he's really not. And that's why he don't want to call devils anymore, because he had to be. He was because they check. Then you have to admit he's a devil too. Because it's a biological fact. Even though they try to say, well, one drop of black blood makes you black. That's bull. If that makes you black, it doesn't make you original. So that's why he said devils ain't devils anymore, because he had to admit he's a devil, because his father's the devil. You are what your father is. Okay. So now remember, it said discipline. Now where's the discipline? See, we're not under the law. It says the spirit is not under law, but the flesh is. Because this whole universe is our nature. It reflects our nature. So we don't need to be under law. It's like birds don't need to be under law. Lions don't be under law, because they fit right into nature. So their nature is consistent with the creation. So they act according to nature and they're fine. And we act according to our nature, we're fine. But we've been turned to Negro butts 400 years ago to work against our nature. They created the first biological robots. Took 64 years to do it. The first one came up with assembly line in 1619, fully programmed to self-destruct, to obey master, not to ask any questions, right? About anything. See? Just do what you told unconditionally, without question. And that's the state we've been in for 40 years. Negro butts. Terrorized. Holocaust. And so they're telling you now, and a lot of us are buying it, hey man, it's party, have a good time, man, it's America. Because they know, we just talk about Balaam and Balak, and that's going to cause your destruction, because you won't have any power. And the only way you can escape this civilization is your mind power has to be greater than their power. If it's not, you stuck in this civilization and you can't see a way out of it. Mortgages, all that kind of stuff. See, Christianity, because all of this is extension of their thought power. Extension of it. And since they're on a lower level, this is an extension of it. And so they're getting worse and worse every day. They didn't even abandon those ideas, right? So the only way you can escape this and go into the next reality, travel forward in time, is you have to, your thought power has to be greater than theirs. You have to overcome all of that. That's why in the angel keeps saying, Revelation, he who overcomes. He will overcome what? You overcome this system, their ideas, but you can't do it unless you create greater pressure, because that's what mind is. That's what, right? So if it's pressure, it takes more force, pressure is force. It takes force to move anything. I'm not going into that discussion. Right? But we've been under their thumb 40 years, and so their thought pressure was greater than ours, and so we can overcome them. But now our thought pressure is increasing, and it's causing all kinds of havoc, whether differentials or stuff. I'm not going to go into that here, but hope you understand that. So they're trying to get you. I should change that. I should say power, not pressure, because power is discipline pressure. And so your power, your thought power, has to be greater than theirs. You see, because otherwise you have the energy. How you use it? Are you using 100% to create power, or using 10%? So you got a little bit of power, and you throw away 90% BSing around. That's why you got to use power. Your power, thought power, has to be greater than theirs. That's why, as Scripture says, your righteousness has to be greater than the plea, the scribe, and all that kind of stuff. See? Okay? Your discipline has to be greater, because your discipline is what transforms energy into power. But we're talking about the quality of power between the male and the female. Now, I said she took the beauty, we took the strength. But we got 10% beauty, she got 10% strength. Let's deal with us for a minute. Now, how do you change your energy into power? Because the way we do it, the quality, is through strength. So we build ourselves up. See, a weightlifter, he got discipline. Bodybuilder, but that's not the quality of discipline we're talking about. It's a quality because he got all this, he's converting all this energy into strength. He has strength power, but it's unbalanced. See, because it's unbalanced. It's just one side of him. But it's power. But see, we have the 5 fundamental mathematical principles of Islam that gives you balance, because you have all of them in sync. If you just do one, just makes a lot. You got to balance because the other one's out of sync. We have some people doing that kind of thing. If you just do the fasting, then you do the other out of sync. If you just do 2 of them, you do all 5 to maintain balance. The pillars of Islam. So they're the 5 fundamental principles where the universe rests on. The fundamental principles of the universe, period. There's 5 of them. That gives you balance. That's why you have 5 fingers, but that's another story. Okay. So weightlifter or bodybuilder, he has power because he's using discipline to obtain strength power. But you don't have power in other areas. You may be emotional wreck. You have a lot of bad luck. See? A lot of collisions with people. So that means that if you're male, okay, because you start getting balance, and that also is emphasize the beauty, because everybody likes to see a well-built, in the Quran talks about well-built black man. See, that's the beauty side of it. That 10% beauty. Because when he do all these tests, he get that 10% beauty. Compared to what the females have, but he got, that's the, because that's man, that beauty was good. You know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? Because all these things come together. You got all five, right? But his comes through strength. So his power comes through strength. That's where you see it at. And when you look, right? You see, man, all the muscles and everything else. See? So that's the foundation of it, of what you can see. Other you can't. Other energy you can't see, but you see it in the sense of the things he controls, just like the wind. You can't see the wind, but you see the presence of the wind, because the leaves are shaking and carrying on. The thing is, that's the power you can see. The vision looking directly, that you can see directly connected to the person. But the other power is the things he controls. He's a king. He's a whatever, prince or whatever. That's an extension of that. You understand? That's an extension of it. But to get it, he has to first, discipline comes from here, right? And the female and the male has the same thing there, but when it gets to the physical, the quality changes. I mean, it even changes here. Like it's still equal, just different, because both are spatial, to my original man and woman, right? But he's like 85% spatial. And she's like, let me put it another way. I'll make it simple. I think I'm going to confuse what I said earlier, right? Because like I said, we're both primarily spatial. So we're about 90% spatial. She's about 80%, 85% spatial. You got 15% technical, analytical. We got 10% analytical, but primarily spatial. But she got that little extra analytical, because that makes up her nature and the way, things she needs to do, maternal instinct and that kind of stuff. And plus, that's the defense mechanism, because she's more technical, analytical than we are, and that comes to defense, because that gets into her cunning. She's more cunning than we are. She has to be to overwhelm our strength, but she can't come to us head on. She has to use cunning, and she's more cunning than we are. That's another story. That's why she has a little more analytical, because the cunning comes from the analytical side. But again, the basis is going to start here. It's hardly noticeable between us because it's very close. But it's most noticeable in the physical side, because strength, that discipline is where it starts your power. And the quality of it depends on applying, which are you applying, what's the nature of your discipline. Now, if your discipline is just singular, like just lifting weights, then you're going to be very strong, but you not be very smart, might be very emotional. Maybe overweight. You can find some weightlifters, man, they 300 and 400 pounds. They don't, no beauty there at all. Understand that? Okay. When you get to the female, hers come from beauty. That's what you see there. Okay. So what she has to do, but like this, she has to focus on the discipline through beauty. We discipline through strength. She disciplined through beauty. How does that work? That's where Hajib comes in. That's where all these things come in. Because remember I said, now if the man, he's taking, instead of uses energy for building itself, like bodybuilding and all other things. I told you the 5 fundamental pillars of Islam. He's out there just partying, sporting, playing, all that kind of stuff. So he's just blowing his energy off. Fornication, spending his energy, sleeping with all kinds of women and stuff. See? So he's wasting his strength. See? He's abusing his strength. He has no power, no discipline. Partying, drinking, eating. No discipline. He has no power. He has no beauty either. So we get to the female, the same thing with her. She's using her beauty, she's exploiting it. I mean, no, not exploiting it, but she's abusing it. Right? Out here sleeping with all kinds of men. Out here naked. Because she's using her beauty. In other words, instead of taking her beauty and disciplining it, she's showing everybody. Here's, look at this. It's like your money. You got money, instead of taking and discipline, you spend it everywhere. I buy everything, you buy everything you see. So she's out there naked, showing her beauty to everybody. Everybody see it. She's like spending money, just getting spending. Hey, you want something? You want something? You want something? Sleeping with her, all kinds of people. That's another one. Because hers come through the beauty. But now if you take and conserve that money, right, and discipline, use it, then you get power. And so she takes conserve her beauty, right? And don't be giving everybody, take a look, take a look, take a look. Have a peace. Then she can control of it, right? And she has just as much power as the man, just the quality is different. But she controls things on her too. She can control, she can be a queen, she can be a goddess, like the man can be a god. She can be an angel, and she control it. Depends on the level she be at, is depending on how much discipline she has, like the man. The level he is, how big, how fine he is, vessels, how controlled discipline he is, how, wise he is, how his emotional kind, all these things, because how much energy he's putting in. How well balanced he is, right? Mental and everything. Same thing with her. But she's not even no discipline. Got her clothes all off, partying, sleeping with everybody. Then she has no power. It says her extended beauty, right? That means she got to clothes her big high, keep up being under control with clothing. So she takes and wears the boot, and she arrays herself just like he's telling the Bible. Arrays herself like a bird. They array with fine. They look beautiful. So she arrays herself with all this beauty, but her eternal beauty, she invests that to the people that she loves. To her husband, she invests it to them. She's invested it instead of giving it to everybody. Everybody take a look, everybody sees it. You understand, brother and sister? That's why you wear the hijab. That's why you cover yourself. That's the wise woman does. Now, you don't want to do it, that's up to you. I'm just explaining to you where I come again. I'm finally telling somebody, you finally get a reason why you're doing that. Because that's what you're doing. You're converting your energy to power. So now you're walking around. Because as we move in the future, your clothing and stuff will be more beautiful than ever. And you'll be more beautiful than ever. But you're not going to take your beauty and just exploit it. I mean, just abuse it. Just give it to everybody. You're going to take and control it and give it to, invest it where, invest to your man. He'll see it. See? And he's going to be amazed with it. So therefore, and you got that connection between you and him. And then, but see, that's where your strength comes in. Because your strength is needed, right, to maintain your beauty. So what's what I'm going to say it? But instead we need discipline, right? But you want, you don't want to be I just I'll be careful with this because this might take this wrong, right? But you want to be firm and all that, right? Firm dress and all that kind of stuff, right? He's the strength part of you, that 10%, right? Because I said you're 90% beauty, 10% strength. Your strength part to maintain those things. The Quran says, and if you have to write, the women would be just like virgins again, and they'd be firm breasts and everything. Because you need the mental strength side of you to maintain that side. So I think I said enough to explain that. Maybe I don't know if I need to say any more. Right? I'm welcome to questions. Anybody want to question about it? But that's why you do that. And nobody's going to force you to wear it hereafter. Nobody's going to force you to dress up and cover yourself hereafter. Right? When you find yourself powerless, it should be, because you see people homeless and stuff right now. And some of it is energy deprivation. Some of it's self-imposed energy deprivation. Some of it's just lack of discipline. Okay? Because they got the same amount of energy you have, but yet they sleeping on the streets. So it's not because of energy deprivation, it's because self-imposed energy deprivation. That means they're just blowing the energy. They don't have discipline for it. They're not invested, so that's the end result. So our women going into the future be more beautiful. If you saw a black woman 10,000 years from now, you couldn't even look at her. They're more beautiful, and they're beautiful now. And the black males too. They're more, body. I mean, they're gonna be like bodies like you couldn't imagine. These bodybuilders now, they think they're great. They ain't nothing compared to what you're gonna see the brothers in the future. Beauty and strength. The strength's gonna become more awesome, and the beauty will become more awesome. But discipline, because is discipline turns energy into power, and the quality of it depends on the person. So a woman's quality of it will be beauty. The men's quality of it will be strength, because strength is their nature, is the nature of the male, and the beauty is the nature of the female, right? So therefore, the quality of their power will be through beauty, and the quality of the men's power will be through strength. But the quality, the power will be equal if they apply the same amount of discipline. So men have a slight edge in that area. That's why the scientists, as far as I know, always been males. Okay? I don't know any different. I mean, I don't know the whole history. I can't 76 trillion years of history, but I don't know having evidence. And Elijah Muhammad never spoke to it. Muhammad never spoke to it. I don't know if that's true or not. But we do have goddesses. Because you came over here as angels, you return as goddesses. You have gods and goddesses. But that scientists, that's a very exclusive crew, very exclusive club there, right? There's only 25 can get into that club. And the very best of the very best. I don't know if any females ever got in that club or not. I don't know. I never really thought about it. And I don't think so. That's like I said, a small club. But they have been female prophets, prophetess, right? Messages, but not in that close 25 member group. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. That's why you're wearing that. See? But remember the 5 fundamental principles or pillars of Islam, mathematical. I've talked about it, I'm not going to talk about it here. Right? So that's the discipline. When they talk about rights in the Bible, I said there's the nature of the discipline, there's types of discipline, so you get different results because of the type of discipline used. But when they talk about rights, they talk about complete discipline, comprehensive, the whole 5 fundamental principles. Islam applying discipline to that. And that quality of discipline. Like I said, the weightlifter, he has quality of discipline too, but it's not in balance because he only emphasizes on just one, the exercise part. So he don't have the slots, the torque. You don't have the sakat. You don't have the fast, and you don't have it. So he's off balance, but he's strong. He got a lot of power in that direction. We don't want that. That's what you want, go for it. But he's weak in the other directions. So you want to be totally balanced. So, you women out there, invest in your beauty. Don't just give it to everybody and show it around, walk around and blowing it. Right? It's like money. Don't take your money, just give everybody. Hey, man, I mean, everybody like you, right? Yeah. Hey, man. I mean, everybody like somebody's giving money away. Like they like the woman. Hey, she's naked, man. Look, see all of her butt. Yeah, they like you. But how you end up? Hey, man, he gives my money. He just give money. He give money. He buy drinks for you, man. He all that stuff. He party. Hang with that guy, man. He give you all. And you say he's gonna end up. Hey, that girl, man, she's easy, man. You see her, man. Look at man. She take a look close. You can see, look at man. Look at she got a bikini on, all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. But the other man, he ain't showing his wealth. He's hiding his wealth because he knows his power is what he needs. He ain't giving his wealth to everybody. You don't even want anybody to know he's got any wealth. See, because they'll know he got wealth when they see his power. There's a lot of millionaires walking around here. I remember when I was a child, man, they had a couple of times people said, that guy's a millionaire, man. He look like a bum. You don't want anybody to know. They didn't want anybody to see him coming. It's the same thing. It's just different foundations. You got a beauty foundation, man got a strength foundation. That's the difference. Okay? If they want to fruit their strength, partying, having, laying out, going around doing all kinds of sports and all that kind of job, right? They wasting their power. You want to go around doing that kind of stuff, that's the strength side, right? You want to go on the beauty side, just abuse it and let everybody take a look, everybody have a piece and all that kind of stuff, right? Same thing. So therefore, he covers it up, he takes the strength and focuses it on building it, perfecting it, and you, same thing, you hide your beauty, and because right? And you invest it where you need, where it makes sense, where you get a benefit, a return on your investment. So he takes and get a return on his, he goes to the gym and everything to return his investment because he's been working, now he sees his muscles start growing. You see? And so that's the basis, because that's the power that you see. That's the base of it. See, so you look at him, right? And so you can get some idea of the power he has just by looking at that, because you can't see, like I said, you can't see the wind, but you see the evidence of it by the wind sheet, by the leaves shaking and carrying on. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. That's where that comes in at. A wise woman would do it. It's like a wise man would go out there and take care of his body. Otherwise, he's laying down there with cancer and sick and overweight and everything else. Wonder what happened to him. She's out there now, she's pouring and everything else. What happened to her? Because you see right now, most of the women down the street right now, they blink away from being whores, prostitutes. Because that's what they used to call whores and prostitutes 20, 30, 40 years ago. You weren't going to get there, you're a whore, prostitute. That's it. They're free fall. So the men are on drugs. See, they lost their discipline. They're on drugs, right? They commit suicide, right? All other things, mental, all this PST, PTS, or whatever they call this stuff, right? And the women, right? They're out here just sleeping everybody, no clothes on, everything else. They're in free fall. No discipline. They have no discipline. And they don't want you to be just like them, so you be thinking you go down with them. That's why I'm going to try to start the process of getting you disciplined. And so, I don't want to know laundry, but don't mind wear them. Man, I don't want to go out there eat one meal a day, man. I don't want to do all this stuff. Man, I want to party. So now you're out there, man, you're a bum, you're overweight, you got high blood pressure and everything else. Because you didn't invest your energy. And the same sister, she out there, man, she got disease, she got herpes, every damn thing else, and she's naked. Nobody, and now she got what they call it, diabetes and everything else. See, nobody wants her. Because after a while, you walk around naked, nobody wants to see your ass no more. They don't see everything. Where's there to see? Come on, honey. Come on in my apartment. We hang out. Yeah, I see everything right here. What you gonna show me an apartment that I don't see out here? What I need you for? But some of them wear more stuff in the shower than they wear on the street. You understand, brothers and sisters? So your strength comes from your power comes from your beauty. Your investing, your control, your discipline, your beauty. Don't just give it to everybody, just show it your discipline. And men's strength comes from their power comes from their strength. You understand, brothers and sisters? Hope you understand. If you don't, please let me know so I can explain it clearer. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. We're gonna leave it there. We'll close out with again the Holocaust. Do not let these people keep telling you about some slavery. That was just a small part, that's the economic part. They're trying to whitewash it. No, the Holocaust went through 40 years of absolute horror. 24/7, 365, 400 years, times, they say somewhere between 2 and 3, 400 million black people. Come on, brothers and sisters. They're trying to whitewash it because they know they're in trouble now. They're trying to downplay it. Don't let them do it. Don't tell them, I don't hear about no slavery. That was the economic part. The maximum profit and overhead. Work without paying you. Yeah, that was just part of it. What about what about the raping? What about the murder? What about the castration and stuff like that? And then don't teach. I want to tell our children critical race theory. It's just your history. Why don't you know about it? Why don't you know about your history? You're such good people. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.